to Tink. If you spell the word knit backwards, it spells out Tink, T-I-N-K. That is not the same as knitting backwards. Knitting backwards is actually where instead of taking stitches off the left needle and making new stitches onto the right needle, you're doing the opposite. Tinking is useful, for example, well, this is actually not exactly a tink, but this is a very common thing. The working strand's coming out of this stitch over here instead of out of the end stitch. What you want to do is slip this stitch over here, and I was purling on this side, and just it means that that last stitch became unknitted or unpurled. So now the working strand's coming out the end. If you are, say, knitting across here, you're doing a pattern, and you're supposed to knit 3 and then knit 2 together, and I go across and I knit 2 together. Oops, didn't get it right. There we go. Knit 2 together, and then I realize, oh, I only knit 2, not knit 3. What I want to do is take my left needle, poke it into the 2 stitches here, get both of them. Here's the working strand. Once I have those captured on my left needle, I can go like this and pull the working strand out of it. So now I can knit my 3rd stitch and then do my knit 2 together. And say I got to this stitch and I was supposed to have done a yarn over between there and I didn't. Well, I can just stick this needle into the stitch below. See that it's coming out, that's the working strand. Go like this. And now I can go and do my yarn over and knit the stitch. So tinking is to undo what you've just done. If you do a slip-slip knit, tricky thing about that one is slip-slip knit, when you do it, it's over here. Now, these stitches, when you go to take them off, depending on how you take them off, you might end up with stitches over on the left-hand needle all twisted up and around. And see, this is in the wrong order over here. I undid them. So I would need to get these stitches in the correct order and untwisted. Now it is possible to get them mounted on the stitch the way I like them to be mounted for my type of knitting. It is possible when you do the slip-slip knit, slip-slip knit, almost said that wrong. If you go from behind, they're on the needle in the right order, but this one is still turned around. That's kind of, and this one too. That's kind of the point of the slip-slip knit, is that it twists the stitch. That's why it leans the way it does. So you really want to watch that one if you undo it. Go along here. Here, say I was doing a knit 2, purl 2 type of pattern, and I just knit that stitch, and really I was supposed to purl it. I'm in the purl section of my ribbing. I could unknit it, and then I would be able to do my purl correctly. Same as if I did the purl stitch into this one, and obviously I should be knitting over that column because that is a knit stitch. I can go into this stitch below, see how the working strand's coming out of it, and take it off. Now, like I said, I've been doing this a while. When you take it off, you do want to make sure that your stitches are mounted the way you like them to be mounted, that in taking them off, sometimes you can get them, you know, all twirled around and odd. So do make sure that you get them back on the way you meant for them to be on your needle for your style of knitting. So anyway, tinking is, practice it on something like this. Say I forgot to change the position and I knew I was supposed to knit, but I didn't put my strand in the back, and I got an accidental yarn over here. It's very easy to unknit it, and then you kind of unwind the yarn and get it back the way it's supposed to. So tinking can be very useful. You don't have, you're not, it's great when you're only made your mistake in the last few stitches. You can undo the last 2 or 3 stitches, and you do have to change the position of the strand just like you would in knit and purl. So moving it back and forth, because otherwise it'll get stuck in there. But if I go along, see, I'm moving it to the back now because the next stitch was a knit stitch. I can go back if I've made an error in the last row. This is particularly handy in lace knitting, because you see I'm just going along, and there's the yarn over, unwind it all. Now this one has 2 stitches on that working yarn, so I've got to make sure that I get both stitches. But see, I don't have to know what mistake I made. I'm just going to undo whatever presents itself when I'm tinking back. And then once I've gotten whatever the mistake is off of the right needle, and now I've just got my stitches on the left needle, I can go back and make my correct stitches. So make some errors on a swatch and practice doing this, and you'll find that it really does help you to proceed in knitting instead of having to rip all the way back to your cast on edge. Thank you.